This is the $700 Traxxas UDR, and here are the top 3 things I dislike the most about it. Now, I should start out by saying as a disclaimer that this is not a bad vehicle whatsoever. It is actually my favorite RC car that I own right now. But for a $700 vehicle, there's a couple things that I do find very irritating, especially for this model over other Traxxas models. The number one thing that is most irritating with the Traxxas UDR, I believe, is how fast the screws on this thing rust. Now, I'm not sure if they used a different type of coating on these screws for this model specifically, but I have had these screws rust out the absolute very first time I ever driven the vehicle. I do take care of all of my vehicles. I wash them after every single drive, and then I also make sure to wipe down the fasteners with a little bit of oil to help prevent rusting. As you can see, I am doing a stainless steel conversion kit on it, but you will notice that they do not come with every single screw that you need in order to complete this, but you can make do with what you got. Number 2 on the list may be a little bit nitpicky, but it does still warrant a discussion, and that is going to be the body. Now, the body itself is very cool. I like the aesthetics of it, but there is a few points in the body where the walls are just a little bit too thin, and you end up actually rubbing on it quite often. The thickness of the body itself is very thick right here, but then as you go up, you can actually see that the transparency changes. That's because the walls get very thin. These catch on different objects as you're driving and can actually tear the body. And then as for the rear wheels, you'll actually see that as the rear links travel, your wheels will come up and they will actually interfere with the body, rubbing off the paint. So you do have to put in a little bit of sticker or a tape right there in order so that way it doesn't shine through. And the third and final thing I dislike most about the Traxxas UDR is the fact that the battery tray is very limited on what type of batteries you can actually run. It seems as if Traxxas designed this battery tray to make it proprietary with their own style of batteries, making it very hard for aftermarket batteries to try and fit in here. This is a 6S system, but trying to fit 2 3S batteries in here that are not Traxxas branded aids to be very difficult. I can fit 2 2S LiPo battery packs in here to reach an overall height of about 50 millimeters, but if I try and put my 2 3S batteries, they exceed over the 56 millimeter requirement that is for the height of the battery tray. And while we're at it, another thing that is quite annoying is the fact that you really have to run Traxxas branded plugs at the end of your batteries in order to fit into the chassis. You can make adapters like I have done here, or you can buy a plate that actually transforms these into an IC5 or EC5 connector, but it becomes very difficult with routing your wires as you have so much extra length now. Now, as I mentioned before, this is probably one of my most favorite RC cars that I own right now, but these things do make it a little bit more difficult when trying to work on the vehicle, service the vehicle, and just having fun with the vehicle itself. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one.